Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. It's Lauri. Welcome back to my channel. I am on my 13th day of my all liquid diet leading up to gastric sleeve surgery, which is tomorrow, January 16th, 2023. Just wanted to give you a few stat updates as well as to teach you 5 things plus a bonus that I have learned leading up to the big day. Hi again, it's Lauri. I am 13 days into my liquid diet. Tomorrow's the big day, gastric sleeve surgery, and I am a little bit nervous, but very excited. I'm down 17.2 pounds, and I wanted to tell you 5 things plus one bonus that I have learned in this process leading up to this day. So the first thing that I've learned along this process, again, I've had many doctor's appointments. I've met with everyone from the psychiatrist to have blood work and had an EKG and all kinds of things along this process, is that every program is different. So the program that I am with, again, it's with Newvance Health based out of Rhinebeck, New York. My doctor is Dr. Maytez, and I am excited about all that I have learned through both him and his team as well as through the internet. So I would caution you that if you are watching videos, including this one, just make sure that it matches your program. My doctor has specific recommendations about a pre-surgical all liquid diet for reasons to shrink your liver and to have you lose weight before the surgery. Other programs don't have that. I mentioned previously in other videos that my sister has done this about 7 years ago, gone through gastric sleeve. She had a completely different program with huge success. So I'm sure each program has varied levels of success depending on the commitment that you put into it, but just check with your doctor, check with your program that anything that you see online or hear online or read anywhere, including here on this video, it matches with your program. So my program consisted of 2 weeks of all liquids prior to. Since I'm the day before, I can only be on liquids, not including protein shakes. So I've been able to have 3 to 5 protein shakes leading up to today. Today is all liquids only, clear. And then I have to drink a Gatorade tonight and then a Gatorade on the way into work. And I know that is all medical stuff that I don't know all of the reasoning for, other than it's their preparation and gets your body prepared for surgery. So that is my program. That is not to say everyone else has to do a 2-week program of all liquids. So I know that after my surgery, I have at least a week of all liquid diet again, depending on how much your stomach can tolerate and handle. Then you move into pureed foods for a week or two, and then onto soft foods, things that can be mashed with your fork. And then about 5 weeks out, you can go back to what you would consider normal foods. Obviously, not in the same quantities, and you have to see how your body reacts to each one. Each program is different. Some people come right out of the hospital being able to do the pureed type consistency, and that is wonderful if that works for you. Again, check with your doctor, check with your program, and honestly investigate the different programs before you even decide on which one to go with. So this one I went with because it seems like they are taking the most precautions possible. I have to give injections to myself for 2 weeks after for blood clots. Not super thrilled about that, but I think it's great that they do that to protect you. So just every program is different, and just make sure that you look into a bunch and choose which one you're most comfortable with. So speaking about all of the other resources and YouTube channels and other videos that are out there and available to look into, the second thing I've learned is that this community is so great and so welcoming and so supportive of each other. There are tons of people that have gone on this process or that are in the middle of this process and post about it and share their stories and share their successes and their challenges and their struggles. And it has been so inspiring and motivating to see different ways that people are able to cope with all of the different challenges in that. There's recipes, there's motivational quotes, there's, sometimes you don't always see the best outcome. Sometimes there's slight medical issues afterwards. And I just think that it's so great that this community of people that have had weight loss surgery is so welcoming and so sharing and forthcoming with their stories to help guide others. That's the main purpose that I'm here, is that I want to share my process and I want to share everything that I go through, so that if you are considering this, or if you are in the middle of it and experiencing anything, that maybe it's motivation for you, or maybe it helps guide your decision making. So that is, so that's the second thing I learned, is just this community of weight loss surgery people is just so awesome. And I think everyone that I've watched their videos, and I've subscribed to a lot of people just to follow along with their journey and see what they are, since I'm in the middle of this as well. We're all in this together. So embrace it, become part of it, and really learn from it. Okay, so the third thing I've learned is about traveling. Traveling on this all liquid diet is a challenge, and I'm not going to lie about that. So I actually had my surgery planned for December of 2022. After I booked it, I found out that I had to travel across the country from New York to California for work for a few days right before the surgery and when I would be on my all liquid diet, and I just decided against that. I said that would just be too much of a challenge with dealing with traveling with the liquids and then the surgery and then the holidays right after. It was just going to be too much for me. And knowing myself and how I handle things, I just wanted to make sure that I was set up for success. So what I did was I rescheduled for January 16th, which again is tomorrow of 2023, to have this gastric sleeve surgery. After I rescheduled and the day before I was set to travel in December, someone had a medical emergency and we had to cancel the trip. So it got rebooked for, you guessed it, this past week while I was on my liquid diet right before surgery. Now, having the holidays passed and everything, I just decided that I just didn't want to change it again. I didn't want to continue to push this out. So I decided to move forward with it. I shipped my protein shakes and my decaffeinated tea bags and the bouillon packets out to California to my hotel so that when I received them, I arrived, threw them in the fridge. And every time that we had a meeting or whatever, I brought them with me. I put them in the company that we were visiting. I put them in their fridge. They were very accommodating. But the challenging part was lunch. All right, what does everybody want for lunch? Lauri, what would you like? I would just like a bowl of hot water so that I can make my broth. And then people kind of look at you weird. Then you get past that and just say, I just do broth for lunch and tea when everybody else is having coffee. It's okay. But then comes dinner. So dinner, we had 4 people. My boss obviously knows what's going on because he knows I need to take time off, and he knows what I'm going through leading up to it. He knew I would be struggling with the all liquid diet while traveling. But the 2 people we went to dinner didn't know anything about it. So we went to an Indian restaurant, which is okay because I actually am not a huge fan of Indian food. So I was like, great, this isn't going to be a challenge for me at all. I think that I will have great success with this and it won't be too bad. So it's time to order. And again, my boss knew and he was kind of ordering for everyone. So he asked, Lauri, is there anything you can have or would you like? And I just asked the waiter for a bowl of hot water. So after he was very confused by that, I asked him for a bowl of water and salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And he said they didn't have any garlic powder, but he could bring salt and pepper. So I got a bowl of hot water. I made my broth, and everyone else enjoyed all of their naan and all of their goat rice and things like that, which again, not my favorite, so I was okay with it. There was a nice big bowl of white rice that I would have loved to dig into, and the plain naan looked amazing. But again, that's probably because I've been on liquids for almost 2 weeks at that point. From that comes my fourth thing that I just wanted to mention that I've learned. And the fourth thing that I've learned is that there are all types of people when you talk to them about your surgery. There are supportive, there are curious, there are people that are just like, oh, okay, great, good for you. And then there's people that try to talk you out of it or say that you maybe aren't going the right way about this. So at that dinner, the 2 people that we were traveling to visit asked, why I was only on broth, and I kind of tried to get away from it by just saying, I'm in a pre-surgical procedure of liquid only. One of them, we've become close working together. One of them asked if everything was okay, so I kind of explained, yes, everything's fine. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing the gastric sleeve as a way to become healthier and lose weight. And they had a few questions and were very supportive and curious and were just like, great. Well, they weren't paying too much attention to the broth that I was eating. So we just had a nice constructive business dinner with that. So the fourth thing again that I learned is that there are all types of people that you wouldn't suspect, people that you work with, even that that you tell, and they're very supportive. And again, they might have questions and they might, I don't want to say challenge you, but they might be like, okay, did you try other things? And you explain yourself. And yes, I tried several things. And this is a path that my sister, they had met my sister on a previous business trip. I said, my sister had great success with this and this is my path. And they were super supportive. However, there have been other people along the way, along this process, that have either said, this is the easy way out, or this is the path of least resistance, or are you sure you don't want to try this one other thing before you go under the knife? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do that? And if you're set like I am 100% determined that this is my path, then, those people are easy to talk around. But just to prepare you that there are the naysayers, there are people that will try to talk you out of it. Some people try to talk you out of it every time you talk to them. And others are just like, are you sure you want to do this? And you say yes, and you say, all right, well, I guess this is your path, and good luck to you. So just be prepared for that. There's people that you wouldn't expect to be supportive that are, and there's people that you wouldn't expect to question you that do. The last thing I want to mention that I learned along the way is that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We're all probably here because we like to eat food. I love to eat food, and sitting at dinner with my family has been a challenge. There was only one night where I walked away crying, and it happened to be empanadas. That was my trigger point for that night. I walked away, called my support system, which is my sister, and got through it, and I'm still here. So you can get through. You can get through the pre-surgery. You can get through it. I mean, I'm not through surgery yet, but leading up to it, you can get through it. If it's a 2-week all liquid diet, if you have to adjust your eating habits before to lose weight because your insurance requires that, then absolutely you can do it if you have your mind set to it. But I also do want to say that it is totally normal. I've heard everyone that I've watched videos on or spoken to about this. It is totally normal to have doubts. So again, I had a weakness for empanadas. And I was like, am I sure I want to do this? Am I sure that I don't want to just be able to just dig into this plate of empanadas at this moment? And no, I know where my path is, and I know why I'm doing this. So I just had to walk away from that. So it's okay to walk away. It's okay to have doubts. It's okay to be weak during this. I mean, there's if you have a good support system, whether it's on the online community or in your own family, which I have, then you can get through it. Just plug through it. Keep going, know what your end goal is, know why you're doing this. And again, I have all of the things that I've tried in the past backing me up that weren't successful. This is my path. This is going to work for me. It has to work if I follow the program, and I will follow the program, and I will succeed. So if I can do it, you can do it. And I hope this is some type of motivation for people that might have some doubts, which is completely, completely normal to do. And then a little bonus that I just wanted to add that I learned is, this is not sponsored, but better than bouillon. It is, I have been on the liquid diet for 13 days, had a lot of broth. I'm allowed to have up to 2 cups of broth a day on the program that I'm on. And so I've been taking advantage of that for sure. So definitely have the 2 cups of broth. When I traveled, I used packets of bouillon, or when I traveled, I used packets of broth preparation, but the better than bouillon is absolutely the best tasting. There's several different varieties. I have stuck with the roasted chicken, and then I tried the roasted garlic. They have vegetable, they have beef, they have lobster. I'm not sure if the lobster one would qualify as a clear liquid, so definitely check. And there's no MSG. So again, not a paid sponsorship, just wanted to share that I have found those to be very, very delicious as I am enjoying my broth while everyone else is having yummy food. So better than bouillon, comes in a jar. Again, not paid sponsorship, just wanted to share that I have rather enjoyed them and will continue to enjoy them after. All right, so that wraps up the things so far that I've learned. I mean, I've learned many more, but those are some of the big ones that I have learned along this preparation journey leading up to my surgery tomorrow. And I just wanted to share them with you before I set off on the next part of this. So I hope to share some videos from inside the hospital after I go through the procedure. But after watching several people, I'm not sure how I will react. So to be honest, I don't know if I will be able to post next week, but I will do an update video as soon as possible. I want to share my experiences going through it. I am supposed to stay in the hospital overnight. So tomorrow's Monday. I'm supposed to stay over Monday night till Tuesday midday. And then hopefully, if everything goes well and I'm keeping liquids down and I'm able to give myself that shot, which I'm not looking forward to, if I'm able to do all of that and everything looks right, then I should be released to come home and recover the rest of the time at home. So here's hoping. And I'm hopeful that it all goes well and that I'm able to get back to you guys with some very positive news. But again, if it's not and there's pain or anything, I will be happy to share it with you and just help you feel more comfortable about this process and know anything that's possible going in. So wish me luck. And as I end every video, I will say, be kind to each other and keep in touch with yourself.